Hello everyone, welcome to US Rugby Issues with me, the Strobro. My name's Aaron, and let's get into it. I had the awesome pleasure of going to the national team ladies test of USA versus Canada, the second in the CANAM series. Unfortunately, right now, that is our last match as a national team until we go to the World Cup this August in Ireland. So, it was a matchup of number 4 Canada versus number 7 United States. I'm going to go over the roster and then the roster changes for the second match on Saturday. I was able to watch Tuesday's match, so my commentary and critique will be regarding both matches. The starting 23 out of our 36-player pool for Tuesday was Tiffany Fye, captain. 2, Joanna Kitlinski. 3, Catherine Benson. 4, Stacey Bridges. 5, Alicia Washington. 6, Christian File. 7, Nicole Strasco. 8, Jordan Gray. 9, Joanne Favisi. 10, Megan Foster. 11, Nia Tapper. 12, Sylvia Bratton. 13, Alev Kelter. 14, Kristen Thomas. 15, Jess Wooden. And backing them up on Tuesday was Phaedra Knight at 16, 17, Naima Reddick, 18, Jamila Reinhart, 19, Molly Kinsella, 20, Sarah Parsons, 21, Anna Karen Pedraza, 22, Kayla Canet, 23, Nicole Heverland. Match 2, the changes were at 5, Molly Kinsella, 7, Sarah Parsons, 9, Anna Karen Pedraza, 10, Nicole Heverland, 12, Alev Kelter, 13, Ryan Carlyle. Backing them up with other changes was 20, Christine Sommer, 21, Kelly Griffin, 23, Tess Fury. First of all, I didn't really pay attention a lot to the Canadian women, so if you're coming here looking for a Canadian side critique, I will tell you that, man, the woman of the match on Tuesday was Karen Paquin. She had a hat trick. She was all over the field. She was it, you know. So let's get into training and why we don't have depth before I get into a match critique. And this is very important. It's pretty clear to me why Canada is better. If you look at the stat sheet and how many caps and World Cups our team has been to, we only have 3 in our 36-player pool that have been to a World Cup, let alone only 3 of our 36 were in the last World Cup pool. So we are a very young team. So 3 of 36, what does that equate to? It's 9.8% of our team was on the team during the last World Cup cycle. And if you look at the Eagle numbers, they're very high. So there's not really, they're all grouped together. And most of these women are extremely young. In age and in rugby, especially. Whereas, if you look at the Canadian team, they have a mix of experience and youth. About half their team was on their last World Cup side. Half their national side plays in the BC Premier League. The majority of our team plays either in the Women's Premier League or on our Women's Sevens program. So, for the 15s players that play in the Women's Premier League, they're spread all across the country. So they aren't really concentrated with each other, so they don't really know each other that well. So that leads into Canada having the ability to have camps of shorter duration. As the United States, with all of our players, out there, we don't have the the luxury of having short camps. So our camp was 11 days for this 2-match runoff. To be honest, 11 days isn't enough. I don't know what our camp was for the ARC, but I think it was only 14 days. And our performance in the first match against Uruguay was to be wanted. We got the victory, and that's what you want. So I don't think our play was necessarily affected by chemistry issues. I don't necessarily think there are chemistry issues with this squad. The squad is full of outstanding young women from a variety of backgrounds and a variety of vocations. They are very accomplished outside of rugby. They're just really young, and that's probably our biggest fault, is that we're just so young.
Well, there's, I would say, at least 1,000 people here today. This is pretty cool. And it looks like our new kit sponsor is Adidas.
Now, let's get into my first critique. I'm a hooker. I played wing, but I really don't know anything about the back line. That's a lie. I'll get into that. But I'm a hooker, so I really paid a lot of attention to the pack and how they play. In the first match, it was pretty clear that our forwards got dominated by Canada. It seemed very rarely did we contest a scrum that well, and in fact, we lost ground on most scrums. And once fatigue set in, their tight head completely dominated our loose head, and our scrums would wheel. But that was, before that, we lost ground every scrum. Now, a credit to Joanna Favisi in the first match, and then Anna Karen Pedraza playing scrum half, number 9. We didn't lose a lot of our scrums, although we lost ground on them, which is very important, and it shows a lot of what you're able to do going up the middle of the field and how many pick plays and picking and goes and set plays you can do. So it really showed a lack of strength and conditioning compared to what Canada had. I will say, in person, it looked a little different. I thought we were a lot bigger, just not stronger. But when you go and see these people in person, which I got a chance to, Canada's pack they were jacked. They were much bigger than we were. So I don't really think we have depth in our forwards. Like I said, our loose head seemed to play most of 2 games, and fatigue set in, and we didn't win like any of their scrums. In fact, we didn't lose any scrums, but we didn't have the chance to even contest with how much we got pushed back easily. Unlike in the first match, we scored first. So they scored 39 points after we scored 5. And it was pretty close. It started to open up in the second half, whereas in the second match, they scored twice. Up front and in personal, and had a conversion. It was 12-5. Like until about, it wasn't 12-5. It was 12-0, and then 17-0. About midway through the first half, and we scored before the half was over. So, as far as the back line is concerned, I think we're really out of position. I don't like Tapper at 11 at all. She's an outstanding player, but her skills, as demonstrated on the 7 circuit, she's a win. She can do a lot of stuff. So, if anything, she would be an outside center, not an inside center. So, I didn't like that positioning at all. I know that wing were very stacked. because we had Kelter first playing 13 on Tuesday. I didn't like that at all because she's so versatile. She was basically playing a 12 or an 11 in addition to playing a 13 on Tuesday. So switching Kelter over to 12 was very important. And Tapper was more like a 12 and a half and really needed to be at 13 on Tuesday. By moving Kelter to 12, it opened up that wing spot. And that's where Ryan Carlyle comes in. Carlyle, she's awesome. She was a needed input in the back line there, I think. Not that, I mean, Kelter did that position. She was fine. But Kelter was needed in the centers more so because of just her range and her skills and everything that she can do. And Ryan Carlyle at 13 really helps because she's really fast and she can glide. What was sort of sad to see is she got banged up, but I looked yesterday and well, she was at the Final Four walking around, so good for her. It looks like a sprained ankle, so I think we'll be good, and she should be ready for the next tournament, which I think is Canada Sevens coming up next month. It looked like switching out Foster with Heverland at 10 was helpful, but I really don't understand what we're doing switching out our fly half. And like how, like we didn't really change much in our pack, which tells me that our depth isn't there. And either we have a lot of depth in the back line, which is why we were doing what we were doing. But fly half is a position that you need a lot of experience. Everyone's good. Don't get me wrong. She needs to be on this team, but what does it say about where we are at fly half? We really need another match. I don't care who we play, but we need to figure it out. Put this team in camp and get a friendly before we go to the Rugby World Cup, because we're number 7 right now. We'll probably finish at number 7 unless they get more time together. So there's that.
Sure. All right, so most of the half I've been here. The ladies have been fighting for possession, and Canada has dominated. Canadian inside center scores, and we are now down 17 to 17, yeah, 17 to 0.
Now the event. Let's talk about the event. The event was awesome. It was held at Chula Vista Elite Athletic Training Center / OTC because the USOC rents out the darn place pretty much. Yeah, they sold the facility, but they pretty much own the contract for that place, so people can train there. There's 3 rugby pitches there. It is an awesome place to train. It's picturesque. It's right next to a lake, man. The rugby pitch that we were at for this game overlooked this lake. It was just awesome. The one thing I didn't like was the fact that I had to, how do I put this? That I pre-purchased tickets, and I couldn't just scan them when I was going in. I had to get in line to go get a wristband. And that caused me to lose. I was a little late, so that's on me. And I lost about 5 minutes of the match because of that. So I missed a try by Canada. Who cares, right? But as far as like rugby growth in San Diego is concerned, like the rugby community really came out. But again, I question the marketing. Because I asked these people coming out, and I was like, other than being a part of the rugby community here, would you have known about this test? They all said no. So, but for a women's test, I think there were 1,100 people there. So, the rugby community got out in force. Like, all the girls came out. Like, there was a bunch of dudes, but all the girls came out. I'm pretty sure we didn't even get half of just the girls' rugby community. There's like, lacrosse was big in San Diego, and with how big rugby is getting, I wouldn't be surprised if San Diego section becomes the first section within CIF to adopt rugby as a high school sport. So that's pretty awesome. It was just a really well put together event. Like I said, there were about 1,100 people there, which for a women's test in the United States, I don't really have any experience with it, but I think that's really awesome. USA Rugby hired a company to put out stadium food and beer, so I was able to get a shock top. Next time, can we get some micro craft brews from like Stone and Coronado Brewing and, well, there's about 30 different, 805, there's about 30 different breweries in San Diego. So let's get some local brew on tap, you know what I'm saying? Great event. I got to meet Dan Payne, talk to him for a little while. Great, he's a great young CEO. I think he looks like he could play tomorrow. And, well, I think he's joshing me, but he seems to be, all his weightlifting seems to be in maintenance mode since he left the pitch himself. But he looks like he can play tomorrow. Answered some like short questions, you know, and he's a really responsive dude. So I can't wait to see him again in July. Talk to for the men's test that's at University of San Diego. Maybe I'll make it out to Kennesaw to watch the men's test there. But like I said, for all the criticism that I've given of RIM and a bunch of other people have given of RIM, if they were the ones that put on this test and everything that went with it, they did a pretty good job. So just make sure I can scan my ticket so I don't have to get a wristband. All right? And we'll see you next time. I'm going to have another update for USMLR. There's a lot of stuff moving and moving quick with Major League Rugby, so it was a great experience. Our women are awesome. Support women's rugby. Catch you next time.
Use it. Kick. Come on. I don't know who's playing fullback. Tapper. Penalty. On, I don't even know.
Come on, buddy. You know.
Even I saw it.
You
Scrumming? Oh. Kick two. They're going to kick the touch or they have to kick
That's yours, Chris. Oh, nice try.
No. Ball's out right here. Yeah. Scrum half. Jeez. Ball's out. Going wide. Tackle. Just gotta here's some blood, man. Just gotta try. I love Kelter playing outside center. About to give a kick. messing around with the ball. Make sure it's what? No, yeah. Well, I think Duria only played soccer at Wisconsin. Oh, well, it's all right. 17-5.
Conversion miss. Score Canada 17, USA 5.
If you want to, why not?
Oh, no. There we go. Get it out. Come on, get out. Here's a touch. Alright. They won the line out. There's theirs to win. So. There we go, Kelter! And of course, we're not playing on.
The first knock on.
We're not gonna play on. We're just gonna blow the